Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Explaining the Unexplainable. I'm your host, Mercedes Lucke Benedict, and we usually have our my co-host here with us, Bishop Joshua Sparks, but he is not here right now. So we're hoping possibly he may join in later. I'm sure there's something that has happened that he must be stuck somewhere, or he would have let us know that he wasn't going to be here. So prayers go out to him that he's okay and everybody's okay. But we have got an amazing guest here with us, Ann Bender of Bender Family Paranormal. Now, we thought David Bender was going to be here tonight, but he's not feeling well. So it's the ladies are here tonight to take the show and just skyrocket this amazing show tonight. We're going to talk to Ann tonight about her investigation team, what she's doing. She's got an incredible upcoming event at Nautical Nightmares in California coming up in August. And Anne, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good. Well, it sounds like you've actually had pretty stressful last week. Maybe this week's been a little stressful. So I'm thankful that you were able to actually be on tonight, even through all the stuff you had to go through.
Thank you.
You're
Life's an adventure. So you just take it and hang on. Sometimes it's a roller coaster.
welcome. Well, yeah. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? So you are actually a nurse, but
No.
you do the tell. Why don't you just tell us what you do? I know
I'm a radiology tech. I'm a
It's
radiology tech. I do
okay.
CT, but I work in interventional radiology primarily. So when we don't work in the heart, we work everywhere else. But it's the same as if when people go in and have heart procedures where they go through the groin and they work on different things. So we do everything from work in vessels, and we help the doctor avoid surgeries for people, put in ports for people having chemotherapy, put in tubes for draining horrible gunk out of your body, making them feel better. All
Yeah.
kinds of neat tubes and wires in the body. It's a great job.
Wow. Well, I mean, how long have you been doing that?
I started in 1987 when the first IVC filter was invented, back by Boston Scientific, the Greenfield filter. So I was doing that in school and graduated in 1990. Um, and now there's doctors coming along that were born after that date.
Oh,
So it's been a while. I love imaging. I love being able to be the eyes for the doctors to find things. And, I started as a paramedic and a X-ray tech working in that. Um, I really focused in on radiology and the imaging part of it because love photography, I love people, and I love finding cool stuff. It all works out.
well, I was thinking while you're talking, like things have probably changed drastically, every decade. And have you had to have,
Yeah.
special training each, when as they, especially with the huge computer and digital age, have you had to like take on that role?
When I started, I actually hand dipped films. We worked on rooms that you actually looked into the fluoro beam to see the images. Um, Pre-digital age, yeah, there's all kinds of technology that I've seen come, and then when the technology started, it was so exciting. So it never was dull. There was never a dull moment. So I'm excited to see in the next 5 years or next 10 years, how it's going to change again. How is AI going to be an augment to all of this? I don't know what that future will hold, but I do know that it will hold a whole bucket full of fun new adventures.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. It really is. So, um, how about your paranormal investigation team was, is do you have other people that you work with, don't you,
Oh
besides
yeah.
David?
Oh yeah. We have a team, and we do keep it smaller knit, family oriented. Having been part of other teams in the past that really just got so big, we got burnt out. It got too busy. So we've tried many times to step away. Um, Before Allie was born, we had taken several steps back, and always somebody has a need. And I can tell you, every time somebody's got a need, we're going to answer that call. So each time we've stepped back into it, we've helped out different teams, different organizations. We always are going to help when asked. And now that Allie's here and she walks the same shoes that I do and sees both sides of the veil and interacts with dead people in the same way, um, I feel that it's important to go on to be that support to help teach her how to not lose yourself, how to not enjoy living in the here and now while you do enjoy speaking to things and keep other side of the veil that have long passed. It's so important to balance that out with a healthy, active lifestyle now and enjoy it. She hears me talking about her, so she snuck in here.
Hi.
So it's
Oh,
important.
yes. She's so precious.
So
Oh, well, thank you for being here. You can stay on too. This is awesome. So this is a neat perspective that you're talking about, is that your daughter, that you're so much like your mom, that your mom is able to kind of help you through this. I'm sure you're like your dad too, though. I think you're like both of them. Are you able
yeah,
to,
yeah.
does your mom, is that, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering if does that bring her comfort? Does that bring you comfort knowing, because if you're very intuitive like that, there can be sometimes scary or overwhelming, possibly. Maybe not.
Scared by the ghosties, or are you used to them? Do they help you? Does it even?
As long as they're children, I'm fine.
You don't like the adult ghosties. That's understandable.
But I might bring one of our cat.
The cat ghosties?
No, a real life cat.
Oh, okay.
Because we have like a room.
Yeah, she helps me humanize the feral cats and
Yeah.
help find them homes, to take care of them.
And I might show you one of them.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I do. I love all your animals. We love our kitty cats too over here, and I think that's awesome what you guys do. She's so
I think
precious.
she is. The
This is so
kittens are back behind us. There's
Oh,
a mom that had a litter on somebody else's yard, so we're trying to get them humanized and able to be rehomed so that we can not have them live outside forever.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
they really like the balls. So you know the fruit that get on the tree.
But we're
They-
talking on a podcast, and so like when you go over there and try to have a conversation, guess what? Everybody else misses out on that conversation.
So we have this plant that grows these like brown shaped things, I think, and the kittens like to play with them. And it's really cute. And we have these like bell bell thingies, and they also like to play with those as well.
oh,
I might show you
Okay.
the bell thingies.
okay. That's awesome. That's so awesome. She's so sweet, and she's very talented too. Like
She
she can
is.
do all kinds of. I mean, I love all the stuff that you did. And you guys just went and had a wonderful vacation, wonderful trip that didn't end so well. But I'm so glad she looks like she's fine. Thank God. Phew. So,
Yeah.
wow. I mean that. I mean, I was just talking about that. I was talking about you last night on Coast to Coast. Because
Oh,
yeah, I mentioned you because I wanted to. They brought up about other things I've done with the remote viewing, and one of the things I thought was very important was being asked to look into these missing children, and so I was telling the audience and him that you were one of the people I thought of to reach out to, you and Lala Bright, and so we should probably talk a little bit about that. So I definitely mentioned you. You're in my book, Through the Veil, and so you are one of the first people I've actually met, besides Lala, that like I met in real person that is able to see things and has worked on cases for the police, and you've written a book. So tell us about your experiences as a remote viewer and what you do with that work.
Um, this actually really is why I help Allie in the way I do, because it took me years on my own trying to figure this out. I I was having these weird, new, different, what I thought were nightmares in my house in Spokane, Washington. And I'd always grown up seeing and talking to dead people. What I didn't know is I was seeing the last moments of women's lives before they were taken by my neighbor, who is a serial killer. I didn't know this at the time.
Every time I hear this, I just get like, oh, wow.
I was seeing their last moments, but I was seeing them through his eyes. Now he's alive. They weren't. They were showing me where their bodies were, what happened in their last moments, but everything was seen through his eyes. So there's details I had to those crimes that I I drove to two of the locations, but I didn't go out because one, I knew their bodies were there, and I was still figuring this stuff out. I didn't understand, and I didn't want the cops going, "Why are you here? What is your connection to this?" If I were a cop, I'd go, "Hey, there's no way you could have known that body's there. Why are you here? What part did you have in this?"
Oh, I didn't think about
So
that.
yeah, that's why I didn't go out to their bodies. Either one. There was two of them, and one wasn't that far from our house in the field in the fall. But I would wake up in a sweat and feeling my heart racing, feeling in their last moments. And then there was a few months went by, and I was outside in my front yard, and I was planting a magnolia tree. And I look up, and there was this van that went by, and this kind of creepy guy with really bright blue eyes. Never really had seen him before, and he just kept kind of locked eyes with me. And I just watched him go by. And then he comes by maybe 15, 20 minutes later in a car. I don't remember whether it was a Corvette. It was a fancy race car. And I look at him, and his eyes looked black. Black as, and I realized how evil he was. Not knowing still that was Robert Lee Yates Jr., that he lived a few houses down from me. And he was, not only killing women, but also buried one underneath his own house and underneath his bedroom window. Not knowing that. That was the body I did not see. I saw the two that were in a field, and that one was, I suspect, sometime earlier before I lived there, would be my guess, but I didn't ever go back and look. So all that happened, and I had some weird occurrences at my house where I still had a landline. The landline was cut. I installed activated spotlights because I felt somebody was around my property, and I lived on an alley, and I could tell that there was somebody basically scouting out that area. Um,
Which
I
it was
never found
him.
out who.
It was probably it
I
was him.
Well, here's the catch. I ran into another serial killer in another part of Washington during this time. Another one, yes. And he bragged about the killings to me, bragged to my face. I actually left a work assignment in South Bend, Washington after 2 weeks because he started tracking my every move, following me. And I knew if I didn't leave, he was going to kill me too. because he had already bragged about getting away with the murders. In fact, the police had helped him clean it up. That case is still unsolved in South Bend,
The
Washington, by the way.
police? Did you say the police?
The police and he cleaned up the scene of the crime because it was ruled accidental, and he had bragged about having killed her in that bathtub. So
Wow,
he
that's
worked for the hospital. He worked at that particular hospital I was at. So I left. I came back home, and that's when the weird things were happening around the house. So I didn't know whether it was him. I didn't know whether it was this other person. I still didn't know. The murders were not solved with Robert Lee Yates Jr. yet. They weren't solved. I just knew that there was a serial killer in town, and women that worked during the night were being killed. And it was happening very regularly. I knew it wasn't just in that area. I ended up leaving the area though, and moving, eventually moving, but I took another travel assignment out of state. And it was during that whole journey and going through the lava river caves and eventually ending up in Sacramento. I went to other places first, but it was that whole journey that helped me start understanding how to interpret what I was seeing, feeling, hearing on another level. I understood that it wasn't just about me talking to ghosts and seeing dead people. It was about my interaction with other people's energy. I understood that I could look through other people to find missing people. And I have found a missing person up in, as far as Vancouver, Canada, within 5 minutes of where they were going to be the next day. So I was able to get a family member to reunite with that person and do what they needed to do as a family. So,
that's good.
out of respect for them, I won't give any more information out on that. But there is a lot more. It's all about energy. It's all about when you're remote viewing and or when you're seeing. It's a particular wavelength, no different than a lot of shows we'll talk about with other entities and that stuff. Without going
Right,
down that rabbit hole too far.
right. Well, yeah. So did you say that this one man that was living a few doors down from you, he was actually caught then?
Yeah, it was several years later, and it was Robert Lee Yates Jr. Um, he served, I believe, in the military. I think he had something to do with helicopters, but he was deployed to other areas, other countries. Um, but it was until really after he left the military that he really things spiraled downhill for him. And he was married. He had a family. He had kids, and he did all of this to the point of even burying somebody underneath his own bedroom window. So he's a very sick man. And he's not the only one I encountered over the years. So that's why I didn't write my book yet. I am in the process of writing my book, and it's Living Through Death's Size. But I did write a chapter to start it. And that chapter is in the book Perfectly Imperfect with the same title. And it's my encounter of basically understanding that, I'm walking in the world of the living, but I'm not crazy. I'm able to see on that side of the veil. I'm able to interact with that side and have some resolution. Bring details to light where officers can find without me being mentioned. I stay completely off the radar on purpose. I want there to be validity to cold cases, and I need the correct people to find the evidence in the correct manner. I'm not going to poke around or anything. I'll simply go, can you look here? Can you look here at this time? You'll need to do this or this in addition to. And
Wow.
that's what I do. The officer I used to work with is no longer alive. He did pass, and he was one of the original Zodiac detectives on the Zodiac case. So he actually tested me at a real crime scene that he had in the 70s. And by testing me, I mean he had my husband and I walk a property. It was um, an undisclosed location. It was a field with nothing on it. And I went on to describe exactly what was there in such detail. He said it's as if you are looking at the crime scene pictures. So that's how he tested me. He took me to a spot and said, "Hey, what was here?"
Wow,
So
that's amazing. Um, how long has it been since you've actually done the last one? I know that you reached out to me about a missing person recently, but is that something that you're still part of, or you try to help when you can if somebody contacts you?
yeah, I do my best. It was hard. I The 4th of July, I was wide awake at midnight, and I knew something horrible was going to happen because that's one of those moments that kids are involved. This is this is fresh for a lot of families. I couldn't sleep. I didn't take part in any fireworks activities, but I couldn't sleep. It was midnight, our time, and I knew I couldn't change anything. There wasn't anything I could do, and I had to let go of that and know that everybody was going to be found. Whatever was going to happen, and there wasn't anything that could be done that could change it. That steps were already in motion that couldn't be changed at that point in time. And then I woke up to the news and saw why.
Yeah, being who you are and being who I am, with these similar type abilities, I I still find that things like that are just I just don't understand. I don't understand why all of this happens. But I understand that we cross over. But then I kept seeing, I kept seeing people like spirits in the water. Like them in the water, and I just felt like, and I don't think I was seeing them in a remote way. I'm just thinking I do think I was starting to see the spiritual people around the water afterwards, but during, I mean, how could you not, if you're a mother or anybody? I mean, this is a horrible thing that happened.
Allie's 11. She was right smack dab in the middle of the age of most of those little girls.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's
yeah,
playing with kittens right now, so she's in her happy place, and I just assume she stay there because
yeah.
I have a
Well,
nice little wall up right now for her.
yeah, and we're, you know what? We are thankful that she's all right. You're all right. I mean, the people. I mean, it's a sad subject, but that just shows you the intensity that your abilities are. That you were able to pick up before you even heard the news of that. Is that common for you to
It
be able to have to see more of a world events? Some people are. I'm really not a
9/11.
world event person.
Yeah, 9/11 was done. I know exactly where I was, and I actually woke up prior to that happening, and still was in disbelief that it was. It took me. I didn't know that I was awake yet because how I saw it in my dream was exactly how the news was displaying everything. So I was very confused, and in that instant, yeah, incidents like that I have deep connection to or similarities to, I can relate to. I don't know what I would do if I lost Allie. Um, the accident that we had on the way home from camping was another reminder how brief this life is and how quickly it can be taken in an instant.
Hmm.
And we may or may not have anything we can do to change it. So
No.
we better live life to its absolute fullest, whatever way we can.
And you had a near death accident before, right? Or was I know someone has, and I thought it was
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
I jumped in a lake to save a drowning girl with autism, um, and almost drowned in the process. Where she was completely on top of my head, and I can tell you, I was completely at peace in that moment. Had I drowned in that moment, but it wasn't my time. I'm like, okay. She had I not done that, she wouldn't have gotten out of the water. Um, and it was a very unfortunate situation because it was the older sister that taunted her to jump in. Oh, she can swim, and we kept telling her no, she can't swim in over her head. This is a lake. She's over her head here. This isn't a pool. And so I jumped in, and she was on top of me. She was fully standing on top of me, and they were able to get more adults there and get both of us out of the water. So, yeah.
What did something happen to you at that time where you felt you left your body or
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but it was brief, and I can tell you, when I help cross over spirits, that white light is what I relate to when I help them cross over. Having been there, having seen it, having had a glimpse of it, I know it's real. And I share my experience every single time I do cross over a spirit that has never crossed. And I bring in those family members that are on the other side that I know are right there. Because I can tell you, when somebody does cross over, there are so many family members. And these are members you may or may not have ever met, but they're there, they're waiting, and they are going to help in that journey.
tell us a little bit more about that. How long have you been doing that? Working like that?
Um, I think since I was little, to be honest,
Okay.
because there's information I got from my Aunt Dorothy that is private to the family. I won't disclose what it is, but there are things that I told my family that I could have never known. Details about her death specifically. And her sister, my Aunt Grace, who lived in a house together, and I would sleep over in their house when we visited my grandma and grandpa Fulton when they were alive. And it was there that I understood more details, not only about what I saw, but what my purpose was. And that I needed to live the best, most fulfilling life I could and help as many people living and not living as I could along the way.
I think you're doing that.
I'm trying.
Yeah. So what is it to you like when you help somebody cross over? Or what is that? I know you just explained some of it, but
It
are
is. It
yeah.
is a whoosh. It is a rush. People that are with me, like when I was down in Ventura many years ago, there was a group of us. Anybody that was helping me, and that was next to me, Van Dorian was there. A couple other people were there, and they all felt that soul release who had been stuck, uh, never crossing over for a long time. And when I brought in his family members to help him and he went, that feeling gives me goosebumps to this day.
Mm.
Um, to be able to be a part of that is definitely a a gift, and I don't take it lightly. Um, I may joke about I talk to dead people, but these were still people, and they know that they had emotions, feelings, ideas. Most of them didn't think they were going to pass that soon. They have unfinished business.
Yeah. So that's one of the things we'll talk about like on the unseen realm a lot is why do ghosts stay in houses or why like with here we talked last night like there were so many that were specifically stuck in the cabin and as if they were being trapped there, which they're no longer there. But it's like, why? How is that possible? Why? And I just feel like there's some of them that could just overpower. Have you run into this where it has been like a demonic force or a darker entity force that will
Yeah.
be in charge?
Yeah. You certainly can have that. It's Well, that's one scenario. If you think about it, how many people are trapped in depression? They're stuck and anybody that has experienced this, that overwhelming sadness, that you're paralyzed. You can't you want to be happy, but you can't. You do everything you can. You fake a smile. You do everything you can to go through life when you feel dead inside. Take that and expand that years for a spirit who is stuck. You can't just poof, wave a magic wand and kick them out of that. No different than if somebody's that's truly depressed. You can't, as much as you want to help them, they have to help themselves. It is the same in the spirit world. They have to make that step to help themselves. I
Yeah.
simply provide some visuals and some family members to surround them with to give them an opportunity to help themselves.
And how do you feel like if what if it's a repeating, like a spirit that is almost an imprint that's not really, it's almost like an imprint, a repeated pattern of them being there, but they're actually maybe not there. Have you experienced
They're
that?
actually not.
They're
They're actually
there,
not
but
there in those.
okay. You
It's
know what I
like,
mean?
yeah. I mean, those particular real loops where those are spirits that don't interact because they can't. They're not there. However, that moment in time is so traumatic and pretty much it's like it rips the fabric of time. And
Mm.
it's forever torn, forever wounded in that spot, and that real loop will keep happening. It's not somebody that is an actual spirit that I can help. It is simply an imprint in time, and it just repeats over and over again the exact same time. It's very reproducible, um, and it might be something that's an annual or a biannual thing, but it's reproducible in some fashion, and it doesn't change. There may be slight differences, and that's normally to our interpretation. There really is no differences. It's just you've got different people. It's somebody, how do you describe sunlight? How do you describe rain? Everybody's going to give you a slightly different idea on how it feels, how it smells. So it's same as with those real loops that go, different people are going to experience it differently.
Right. Some of the things I've heard, I've not experienced that here where it's like a repeated thing, but I've seen footage and heard where a lot of the Civil War reenactments, where they'll see
Pittsburgh.
a person in the Civil War walk like they're doing the walk guarding, but yet
Yeah.
they never make contact, but it's almost like they always repeat at the same time. So I think that's kind of what you're talking about.
I saw a soldier in Vicksburg, Mississippi, clear as day, broad daylight. I watched him stand in the tunnel, full Silver War attire, and I took pictures of that particular spot. And then he wasn't there when I developed the film, but I knew I had seen him. I thought it was an actor, but he didn't interact with me. So then I thought about it afterwards, and I realized that was a loop. He didn't interact. He was simply repeating that same motion as a film loop, but he was not there. If he was, he would have seen a little girl very curious and definitely interacted with
Yeah.
me in some way, and he didn't. he was indeed a film loop. You've heard stories about myrtles. While they have active hauntings, they also have the same residual hauntings, and that's the really the best word for it is a residual haunting because it is a residual effect. It's a stain in time that continues to happen in a same exact manner. Um, Much like a particular room that's had a homicide or a suicide might feel far after the event. It's stained. There's a little residual. The more wood, the more it tends to hold that. So the more earth things, whereas um, wood really absorbs energy. So those are factors, but they're not, it's all up to interpretation.
Right. What is the spookiest place you've ever gone to investigate? Because I know you've investigated a lot of places.
One of
Or
them
what the
would
most
definitely
memorable?
Waverly Hills at sunrise by myself when I went back in looking for my earring. The gal in 501 still has my earring to this day. So anybody at Waverly Hills that ever finds a green, uh, 1 by 1 centimeter dichroic glass earring, that is mine, and it's still at Waverly Hills. I would like it back. So if anybody finds it, I would like it back because the ghost kept it.
That is scary, though. Did you not want to stay? Did something scare you out of there, or just that you lost your earring and never found it?
There were so many intense experiences in the building all night long. I was there for 2 different nights. And the first night, and this is something right out of a horror movie. Um, it's pouring rain. And if you've ever gone to Waverly Hills, there's these huge wrought iron gates. And they're like, and go open the gate. Pouring rain outside, headlights behind me. And as this rain is coming down, I go to open these gates and I hear, and I'm looking back into the headlights, can't see a thing, pouring rain, going, what horror movie did I just walk into in real life? That was my introduction to Waverly Hills Sanitarium. And wow, if you ever want to go to a place to experience what it feels like to interact with ghosts, whether it be the balls rolling around by themselves, the children that you would hear, doorknobs that would twist. It was a very intense couple of nights. Very intense. Not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it on the TV, like TV investigations, and
That, yeah,
I
that
just
place
don't think
scared my
I have.
husband. The death tunnel scared my husband out. He couldn't breathe,
Wow.
and he doesn't scare to anything. The death tunnel did scare him.
Wow.
Like, we got to go. We got to go now.
And he's very intuitive himself, isn't he?
Very much so.
I was
Yeah.
looking forward to talking to him. Hopefully, we'll catch him another time to come back
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. When he's not himself and or hurting like he is now, and he's been dealing with a lot of pain. And so he's tall. He's 6'3". He has some bad foot and back problems, and when they kick up, it's not fun.
Mm,
So
I'm
yeah,
sorry. Well, let's talk a little bit about your upcoming event, the Nautical Nightmares. Now, where is this? This is going to be at a specific place, and I think it sounds amazing. Tell me about what's going to happen there.
it's at the USS Hornet, and it's been over 10 years since I had been, and I went back last year sometime. Was able to spend some time alone on some parts of the ship with the ghosties, and they said hi. They said hello in different accents on my camera. Um, it's nothing like to be a woman on a ship full of men into feeling like a bunch of men staring at you. The only other time I had that experience was walking into to pick up a prisoner out of when I was a paramedic, and I had to go into prison to get him because he'd fallen out of a chair. And every single window had a man staring at me, and I had two of my partners on each side walking with me. So here I've got that feeling in real life to compare to of all these men staring at you. And that's what the Hornet felt like for me when I was by myself.
Wow.
It was very full. Um, there is another investigator that was there years ago with Dave. And by the way, he has coined the phrase "no ship for tall men." I think he had a permanent bruise for months after that last experience at the Hornet. So,
Oh my
um,
goodness. So,
I had my butt
will they be
grabbed
having
last time.
will they have, it'll be set up? Is there like a place where everyone will go and investigate too, or just everyone will listen to people as they talk?
Depends on their ticket purchase, whether they just go to listen to the lectures, which will get you into the ship. You'll be able to go and participate, see the different vendors. We'll also have a booth with vendors. I'll have the dowsing rods for sale, and probably I'll see how ambitious I feel with how much I want to carry in, because it's a long ways to walk. Allie will be there. So she also will be staying aboard the USS Hornet with us, and she's never been. So this will kind of be her putting on her big girl psychic shoes to interact with a ship of that magnitude. So we're going to work on grounding really well beforehand. And yeah, it's
Wow.
not something that's like demonic or scary in any way, shape, or form, but there have been a lot of deaths aboard the ship, as with any aircraft carrier. That's just a norm. There's a ship we investigated, the Delta King, here in Sacramento, that actually did 3 trips back and forth to Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
That is actually almost as intense as the USS Hornet in the lower decks, because where those sailors, especially the burns that they suffered from Pearl Harbor, um, that still exists here in Sacramento.
oh my gosh. So when you said that when you went to investigate 10 years ago, you were able to actually pick up words from what people had said, like on your camera.
The words came the last time, most
Oh,
recently, where they were saying hello and hi. And I was kind of ignoring them because I wanted to see what would happen. I was filming away from them over the waterfront. And then I knew where they were, or where one was anyway, right behind me, and I could feel the other ones up above. So I slowly would turn the camera while I was recording, trying to pretend that I didn't hear them. So they got a little more insistent. They didn't like being ignored, I found out.
wow. What kind of equipment do you use? Do you use a certain type for people that are interested in that?
um, I rely on myself before the equipment. I've taken pictures of full apparitions, like at the Woodland Opera House, that to this day people, oh, you Photoshop that. I didn't even know about Photoshop back in 2003, for the record. Uh, but it the Olympus camera has the best lens. Um, Anything with the you want a little bit of noise canceling for the wind, but you want the wind and that for white noise. So it's a delicate balance of true sound, bless you, to a little bit of that white noise. Like this air conditioner going off would be not a bad thing if you're doing an EVP session. It's easy to cancel out when you do the recordings. And as a note for EVPs, think of very, very high above human range and think of very low below human range. In the same segment, you can have EVPs in both segments saying different things and having different conversations and reactions. And you also have to think outside the box of the English language. Listen for other languages, dialects. I don't know why TV doesn't do Spanish EVPs, or I've had French, Spanish, other languages that I couldn't decipher. And all of that is because it's raw and real, but it takes a lot of years to encounter these different things. It is not going to be filmed in an hour episode.
Right? Yeah, it's not going to be filmed. I mean, in fact, it takes hours and hours and hours to go through that stuff. And since you have your own team and different teams, then it does. I mean, you have to have people that go through all of that time to do that and listen. That's a lot. So what
Technology
do
is
you,
fun, and there is some great technology out there. And I use like a Geiger counter, but I don't use it every time. I've had a CO2 detector act as an EMF meter. It just depends on what you need to listen to in that moment, in that investigation, and be ready to go that direction, web and flow in that way.
have you ever had anybody go with you that is like instigates trouble or anything, and you've had to say stop that or
Yeah.
no?
In fact, at Waverly Hills, the woman that was being very disrespectful got thrown across in front of us by the spirits there. She upset them. We were in the middle of observing some lights moving at the end of the hall. They were actively interacting with us, and oh, there's no ghost here. And we're like, lady, we didn't know her. We didn't know where she was from, but you've got to stop. You cannot disrespect them. And it wasn't but a few moments later, she continued to mutter on. I don't remember what she said, but she went from one side of my field of vision, airborne, to the other side, and she ended up being taken out to the hospital because she hit so hard. So
Wow.
do not, especially in Waverly Hills, but there's a couple other places that are saying do not. It's serious. It is real. It's no different than having the respect of Annabelle
Oh, I was
and the
just, oh my
seriousness.
God, I can't believe you just said that. I was just going to say, what do you think? Because I had that subject, but I was expecting Bishop Joshua here. And I was thinking, I wonder what you were going to say about that. I mean, I feel so sorry for that man, but they should
Absolutely.
never have taken that doll out.
With her history in vehicles and traveling, and the whole reason that she was in the case, with that history alone, you have to respect the power of the unseen. And these things have the power to kill. Demonic is a force. I was lifted up and thrown against a wall because I called a demon by its name. I said its name. I will never say it again, but I learned the hard way what happens when you try to stand up to a demon. And it doesn't matter about whether you're prepared or not, because you're never going to be prepared to try to stand up to a real demon. Um,
And all of they're very tricky, very sneaky.
yes,
I mean, it's all, I mean,
they're
I,
never, they never were human. They don't follow by our rules. We're nothing to them. They are a force, just like an angel is a force. People will use angels for, if you don't use them correctly either, they are just as powerful as a demon. So I caution people, when you're calling in your archangels, you need to respect. That can also turn very bad very quickly.
yeah.
Real angels are as strong as a demon.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why we call on them, because we know that they can do battle. And
Exactly.
I noticed today that I was really tired from not sleeping last night, but I was noticing the Facebook, some of the people, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of interaction happening with uh this death of this man. And then I saw that the some of the news was coming in that they were talking about it had to do, well, Annabelle was they were on the tour. So I don't know. I
I
don't
have a
know.
feeling I know exactly what happened. I will keep that to myself.
Okay. Yeah,
But she's
probably
done it
should.
before. She that's what the whole reason she was given to the Warrens. And when I did some research, it confirmed what I thought I suspected.
Oh yeah, I
But
mean, like, it's not a good thing. Did he die in a
I say
car accident?
she, it's
Yeah,
it.
did,
It's not even this is a demon.
did this man die in a car accident? Do
No.
we? Nobody really knows what happened yet, probably.
Nobody's saying, but no. I
Yeah.
I don't. However, how it came to be, he handled Annabelle and she got his hands on him.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy, crazy few days going through. I just pray for that whole family, and
Yeah.
just
The,
I hope
the
that
whole
they
Vesper team, they're a good
put.
organization.
I
Um,
know they are, aren't they?
there have been things along the way, but between my respect for the family of the Warrens and for John Zaffis, who helped me out when I had my encounter, I have nothing but prayers and support for everyone involved. I did not know Dan, but I know what it's like to lose someone that is loved, and my heart breaks for everyone involved.
Yeah,
Um, Unfortunately, I feel strongly that this had something, not something, but this was instigated by Annabelle, and it it needs to be protected and not on tour. I'm sorry, but I don't ever have a desire to see something like that. I've had my own experiences that have cemented the strength of the demonic. I I don't have that curiosity. I did at one point, and that's what got me into trouble. I was too curious. And that curiosity is what it feeds on. And
yeah, it's very, very dangerous. Well, I'm
yes.
glad we could discuss it a little bit because I was wondering your opinion on it. So we are out of time. It's gone
Wow.
so fast. Is there anything you want to say before we leave that you want to promote?
Um, Please come out to the USS Hornet, experience the ship. If you aren't able to make it to the conference, to the haunted nautical nightmares, which will have some amazing guests, people that I've been friends with on Facebook for a long time, and a lot of respected people in our field. Um, we're not going to be around much longer. We've lost so many amazing people in our field. Come see us while you can. And
Yeah.
uh, yeah, if not, then go see the USS Hornet. They have regular hours where you can go there as a tourist. They have actual ships, not ships, but planes. You can go and sit in the cockpit on their deck during their hours of operation. The docents there are amazing, knowledgeable people that will share their love for the ship and its history, its connection to the space program. And we haven't even touched about space and that final frontier.
I'm sure there's lots of spirits up there too. Well,
Oh yeah.
and thank you so much for being here with me. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It's been
We look
very
forward. Go ahead.
no,
What?
it's rejuvenating to be able to feel that passion, to feel the energy of somebody that is likewise, that can see the same way. It's
Yeah,
refreshing.
it's nice because there's only, well, I'm sure there's a lot of us, but it's nice to be able to communicate. And I love your garden. Garden is beautiful.
This is
All right.
definitely my sanctuary.
It looks like a beautiful sanctuary. In audience, we just want to thank you so much for being here. And I'm sure that Bishop Joshua will be all right. I will find out if hopefully he's contacted us when we get out of the show today, and we'll check on him.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't have anyone planned for next week. We may be taking a bit of a break. I'm not quite sure yet, but I will be posting as soon as I find out if there's what that is. I'll let everyone know that's listening. And thank you so much for being on the Web Radio Network with us on Explaining the Unexplainable with our guest and vendor. Thank you so much. God
Thank
bless
you.
everyone. We're still here.
Oh, it's still recording. Can't get enough of me.
Well, And we are ready to go. I'm going to check while we're still here. Let me see what if he's made a message since I just said I would.
Yeah,
And
I'm.
since we're still on, let's see. I'm sorry, Mercedes. I laid down to get in there when I couldn't. I just woke up. Oh, didn't make it. I know why, but he's okay.
All
He's
right.
okay. All right. Well, I guess we could keep going a little bit longer. I never know what to do in this sentence.
Well,
Oh,
I can tell you, you're a mom, and
huh?
we were having this discussion about how at 3 months, Allie at 3 months in my tummy would set off her favorite toys in her nursery. So she wasn't born yet. And
What?
3 months gestation, she set off these toys that were soon to be her favorites, which we still have to this day.
And still are my favorites. The octopus. There's like this octopus toy that makes noise, and what was the other one?
There was a glowworm you loved.
Yeah.
Like to light up. And the batteries weren't in it, by the way. Just no different than a spirit. When you deal with kids and PK energy, which I also help, that's one of my specialties. Um, you can interact with those, they'll interact with the toys when they sleep specifically. So she did a lot of the PK stuff, 3 months gestation. So,
That's
and I can
amazing.
see, yeah,
That's
it was
amazing.
it was eye opening to realize how much mental capacity she had so early on,
Yeah,
and she was playing with the toys already.
that's
She couldn't wait to
amazing.
get out and meet us.
Well, hopefully the next time that you come back, we'll see how she. Maybe you can come back after you go to the nautical nightmares, and maybe Allie can talk about what happened on her experiences.
I'll be
All right.
very interested myself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I can see now. I got a message that we're good to go. So again, I want to thank the audience for being with us, and for having Ann with us, Ann Bender of Bender Family Paranormal. Have a
It's
wonderful
Bender.
evening,
It's
everybody.
BenderParanormal.com.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we needed to say. There you go.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night.